Now may I request Dr. Suhaswani to give a brief overview of GOK ICRISAT initiatives and objectives of this workshop. Good morning, and on behalf of myself as well as on behalf of the consortium, let me also extend my warm welcome to Honorable Chief Secretary Sri Rangnath ji, Additional Chief Secretary Sri Kaushik Mukherjee ji, the Principal Secretary Gowda ji, Commissioner, Director, our Director General Dr. Dar, the Chairman of the Karnataka Krishi Mission, and all the team members. I am here privileged to be standing in front of you because of the excellent work what you have done, and I am just a media to put forward the brief overview of the work what has been done and what is proposed to be done under the new initiatives under the GOK ICRISAT Bhuchetana 2 and GOK CGIAR initiative, which is also led by the ICRISAT, the complete consortium of 9 organizations. So, warm welcome to the beautiful campus, and as some of the participants made in the beginning the comment, it's a captive campus, and that is precisely the higher officials of GOK decided that if we have to do the serious planning business, then all of us should be on retreat somewhere else where people don't run to the offices, attend to the emails and other responsibilities at the place where we work, and that is precisely Government of Karnataka has decided that every year annual and planning meeting will be in Hyderabad. The objective of this 3 days workshop basically are to review the progress of Bhuchetna during the last 4 years, assess the strengths and weaknesses based on the lessons learned, then to plan for strengthening the gains of Bhuchetna through a Bhuchetna mission program for maintaining the increased agricultural production, for maintaining, because already we have increased the production, and if we have to maintain and then accelerate it further, then something else is required, not the business as usual in the state, and building climate resilient and inclusive market oriented development in the state. Inclusive market oriented development, the whole Bhuchetna program has ingrained the inclusiveness of the small and marginal farmers. Particularly, it started with the rain-fed farmers, and then during the last 2 years, it was extended to the irrigated farmers also, and that's where the ICRISAT's new vision of 2020, which talks about inclusive market-oriented development, is operationalized in the Bhuchetna program as such in the Karnataka. As indicated by my colleague Peter Crawford, that in addition to the Bhuchetna, Government of Karnataka has started a new initiative to bring in all the CG centers together and address the systems issue of productivity as well as for improving the livelihoods and building the sustainability. So the third objective today and next 2 days will be to prepare detailed operational plans for the GOK CGIAR initiative, for establishing an evidence-based and science-led scaling up model for integrated rural development. It is integrated rural development, not necessarily only the crop production per se. It deals with improving the livelihoods, and for that 4 benchmark sites have been identified in the 4 revenue divisions of Karnataka, and we will be adopting the inclusive market-oriented development strategy with partnership and empowerment for sustainable development. Quick glance through Bhuj-Chetna. It started in 2009. So from 2009 to 2010 to 2012 Kharif, you can see the extent of coverage which we started with 6 districts, 0.2 million hectare, has reached up to 3.73 million hectare during the last Kharif season. The number of districts were added progressively from 6 to 16, 16 to 30. So last 2 years we have operated all the 30 districts. Number of villages has increased from 1440 to 26,293, and the number of farmers from 0.2 million to 4.39 million farm households have been covered under the program of Bhuj-Chetna. The number of farm facilitators who are acting as the extension contact between the department, the consortium and the farmers has increased from 500 to almost 10,000 depending on the extent of the area. For every 500 hectare there is one farm facilitator included, and there are number of lead farmers who are hired during the season only for the specific high peak activity times, and that number has reached up to 45,000 lead farmers. So ladies and gentlemen, that is the innovation which Department of Agriculture in Karnataka has done to reach the farmers in the state through the effective extension system. Let us give a good applause to the Department of Agriculture for the good job done. Let us look at the increases in the crop yields. The crop yields have increased by 23 to 66% in the rain-fed crop areas, and last year when the irrigated crop was added, the paddy and sugarcane, even in a crop like sugarcane, with the baseline productivity of 70 to 75 tons, 12% increase on an average has been observed in case of even the sugarcane crops, and for the rain-fed crops we have observed 23 to 66%. And if you look at the third graph on the bottom side, you can see that from 2009, 10, 11 and 12, and if you take the average of maize for the 4 years, 31% on an average increase in the yield, and the millions of farmers field have been observed. And that clearly shows that in spite of the bad rainfall years of 2011 and 2012, the percentage increases with improved management has not decreased. The baseline productivity was declined, as you can see here, from 2011 and 2012, both the years it is less than 2010 and 2009, also was a bad year, you can see. And this clearly shows that with the improved management, we are able to cushion the farmers against the adverse impacts of the large rainfall variability and the low rainfall years also, clearly indicating that one. This is the example of the groundnut, and you can see that for the groundnut also 41%, 33%, 43% on an average, 37% increase has been observed. The point I wanted to drive at home that when we started with 6 districts with a small area of 0.2 million hectare, which was built on the experiences of Sujala ICRISAT program of Government of Karnataka, on 4,000 hectare area, we could give the confidence that from 4,000 we could reach to 4 million hectare, and that is all because of the strength of the Government of Karnataka's Department of Agriculture. These increases, what does it mean for the farmer, for the state? As such, you can look at it, the increase in the total income for the state during the 2011 rainy season, which was the first time when we covered all 30 districts, was running into 646 crores, equivalent to 130 million US dollar. And I am sure for the 2012, if not 130, we will be targeting at least 90 to 100 million dollars additional income for the state of Karnataka, and for the year 2009 and 10, because the area was less, the districts were less, the numbers will be definitely less than the 100 million. We will come to know that sort of thing. And clearly said that it has added 0.5 million tons extra production of cereals, pulses and oilseed crops alone. We have not taken other crops into the calculations at this stage, which we will be doing it in due course of time. So, all these spectacular things, because of what? The main driver of success is regular and effective monitoring and evaluation systems, along with the capacity building which the government of Karnataka has undertaken. As you see here, the GOK Department of Agriculture does weekly video conferencing with all the 30 districts. There are state level, district level, taluk levels, coordination committees. Hundreds and thousands of field days and regular training courses are conducted every year to ensure that all farm facilitators and lead farmers are trained, and excellent help has been provided by the state agricultural universities, and their contributions are recognized here. Let us give them a good hand for their contributions to build the cadre of Karnataka. Another success enabler was empowered farmers as the extension agents, and this was a new concept. And believe me, in the first meeting when we said that this is the issue which we would like to address first, then only we will be able to make a dent in the productivity enhancement. Government of Karnataka acted so fast that even during the first season of 2009, the farm facilitators were appointed within the span of 1.5 months after the project was launched. And that shows the seriousness of the government of Karnataka, that how quickly the policy decisions were taken and which have enabled us to reach to this particular stage. Training and empowerment of farm facilitators. There is training of all the farm facilitators involved in it, because there is a certificate provided, and the people who have the certificate, they are only eligible to be appointed as the farm facilitators. And this particular novel extension approach, we really need to consolidate and convert it into more effective using the new IT technologies and other things, so that these farm facilitators can be real empowered extension agents for the Department of Karnataka. As you are knowing it, the first intervention was assessing the soil nutrient content, and more than 100,000 soil samples have been analyzed by the Department of Agriculture and ICRISAT together, and the results clearly came out, which have been published in the form of a soil fertility atlas, which is of its first of its kind in the country like India. At this stage, you can click on any village in the Karnataka on the internet, and you will be able to see the fertility status, along with the recommendations for the major crops grown in that particular district, taluk and village. Soil fertility information as well as the weather information also has been put onto the wall writings, and that's how we have shared the information. Last year, we started a new system of farmer-to-farmer extension in partnership with Digital Green, where the videos are prepared by the farmers, for the farmers, shown by the farm facilitators to the farmers. The feedback is taken up, and these videos are also loaded onto the YouTube so that anyone can download them, and this is what we have piloted in 2 districts, and we will be strengthening this further in all the districts. Along with that, we also have started the tablet-based knowledge sharing mechanism with the farm facilitators, particularly to strengthen the farmers field school, which is one of the important activities of the Department of Agriculture of Karnataka, and we are putting all the information in local languages on the tablet, so that the farm facilitator does not only rely on the trainings what he gets or she gets, but will have the continuous dictionary of the agricultural encyclopedia with the farm facilitator. The drivers of success. This particular program of Bhuchetna has translated rhetoric of inclusiveness and enhancing the input use efficiency into action through science-led research for development. All of us talk quite a lot that inclusiveness, research for development, but this is the first scaling up model where millions of farmers have reached, and when the additional chief secretary presented in the World Water Forum the experiences of Karnataka, everyone was looking at him whether he is talking really in millions or it is in hundreds. And that was the thing which really distinguished the government of Karnataka's best practices intervention in the World Water Forum in Sweden. It's a holistic, inclusive approach, working passionately and persistently for productivity enhancement by all these consortium partners, bring all stakeholders on the same page, good teamwork. And that was the best part of the success story, that the consortium of Department of Agriculture and ICRISAT and state agriculture universities, they were really on the same page of development of the rain-fed areas. It took some time. I didn't say that it was a cakewalk. It took some time to really get that sort of thing, but finally that is the one success driver, which is that good teamwork by all the consortium partners. Tangible economic benefits to small and marginal farmers in rain-fed areas, broke the vicious cycle of supply-driven approach and establish a demand-driven mindset, change of mindset of actors, because everything is charged in the program. Except the advice what is provided to the farmers have to register, they have to pay the cost of 50%, 60% of every input what they want, and that's how the sustainability has been brought it in. And this has totally changed the mindset of all the actors involved, starting from farmers up to the policymakers, that if we have to reach the target, we have to give 80% subsidy, 90% subsidy. That is not the case. If we have to reach the target, it has to be shown that it is economically remunerative to the farmers. Farmers are willing to invest in that one. Strengthening the innovative extension and knowledge system which we have discussed. Based on that, now we will be working into the Bhuchetna, a sustainable agriculture mission for improved livelihoods in Karnataka, with a vision to sustainably improve the livelihoods of farmers in the state by developing farmer-centric, science-led, inclusive, market-oriented, integrated farming systems, participatory development approach. And the issues what we need to address in the Bhuchetna second phase are basically sustainable growth in agriculture through taking science at farmers' doorstep, and reduce the poverty through enabling institutions and policies by linking farmers to the markets. Climate change, adaptive and resilient agriculture for small farmers. As we are seeing now, the rainfall variability and the temperature variability are affecting the agriculture, and definitely we need to be prepared with different adaptive strategies for that. Institutionalize the process of science-led development and research for development or impact need to be institutionalized. Last 4 years, good job has been done. We need to be the exemplar for not only for the India alone, but also for the whole development community which is working across the globe. Strengthen the innovation platform and decentralized coordinated extension system. What has been perfected by Karnataka really need to be a good exemplar for the state of India, so that we can really unlock the potential of rain-fed agriculture in all the states. And already government of Andhra Pradesh has also started the similar Bhuchetna program in Andhra also. We also would like to evaluate the spectral analysis method for soil samples, because we know that thousands of samples cannot be analyzed regularly by the normal wet analysis. We are working with University of Florida for Bidar district, sir, at the moment to standardize the method, and if it works through, then it will give us a new tool which can be done through the spectral analysis, and sometime we will be able to use even the remote signatures also for that. Institutional learnings and share with the other states, that will be the agenda during the next Bhujetnam 2 mission program. The another initiative, Government of Karnataka CGIAR, is for improving the rural livelihoods through scaling up science-led participatory research for development in systems context. So all the crops, animals, horticultural systems have to be brought in, the innovations for income generating activities and the system level outcomes expected from this program are improving the livelihoods, ensuring the ecosystem services, sustainability, that is production is equal to profits and profits are equal to sustainability, building the resilience, ability to cope with shocks or variations maybe due to climate, due to market and other development, for which 4 benchmark sites have been identified at Tumkur in Bangalore Revenue Division, Chikmagalur in Mysore Revenue Division, Raichur in Raichur and Bijapur in Belgaum Division. The synergy will be convergence of CG and GOK, which is unique on its own for scaling up the participatory research for development research. Drought-proofing of the state through innovative techniques, policies and institutions for impact. Enabling drivers for research for development, and it will be a model in Asia and the world that this is the first time that so many CGIAR institutions have been requested by the government of the country or the state to work together and help the development in that particular region. So it is a win-win solution, as the platform also builds the capacity of state agricultural universities to the emerging challenges of climate change and poverty reduction. The ex-ante impact assessment, what we have looked at for this initiative, will finally end up in 5 years up to 1190 crores with a benefit cost ratio with full cost of 1:9.3. So every dollar invested will be able to return $10 additional income in the coffers of the state government. Number of CG partners are there, all of them are here at the moment, 9 CG and international organizations, including the World Vegetable Research Center, along with the universities in the state, as well as the other line departments of animal husbandry, rural development, water resources are the partners in this, and that is what I have to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. Let us give the best appreciation for the government of Karnataka for this initiative. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Rani. It was not easy to place before you the 10-year journey all of us have moved. Thank you very much. Now